Now, Donziger, who represented these effective in a class action lawsuit against Chevron, called what he saw in Ecuador an apocalyptic disaster, almost like the end of the world. His years-long effort, of course, netted the $9.5 billion judgment against Chevron in 2011, a judgment the oil giant did not pay. Interesting. And instead filed a racketeer, influenced, and corrupt organization suit against Donziger, a RICO suit. Claiming the entire case against it was built off fraud and extortion, U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan ruled in favor of Chevron in 2014. The company's star witness later admitted he lied, but an appeals court declined to consider the revelation. As the legal saga drew on, Kaplan in 2019 charged Donziger with contempt of court after the environmental lawyer defied a court order and refused to turn over case files, arguing it would violate attorney-client privilege. While federal prosecutors declined to take up the case against Donziger, Kaplan made the unprecedented move to appoint a private firm, one with alleged ties to Chevron itself, to prosecute Donziger on the charges. Isn't that interesting when you can ask Chevron to get its own people to prosecute its own enemies for its own crimes that it did? Isn't that great? It's like asking the police or the IDF to investigate themselves, and they always come up not guilty. So that's where we are. So Donziger was then denied a jury trial and convicted in 2021. He was ultimately disbarred and spent 45 days in prison, 993 more days under house arrest. Attorney General Merrick Garland ignored appeals, including from members of Congress, to review Donziger's case, and in 2022 his Justice Department filed a brief in opposition to Donziger's appeal to the Supreme Court. Donziger exhausted all legal avenues to overturn his conviction last year after the Supreme Court refused to hear the case. So, Wednesday's letter adds to the growing calls for a pardon. Earlier this year, 50 environmental and human rights groups, including Amnesty International, Greenpeace, and Amazon Watch, urged Biden to pardon Donziger. In Wednesday's letter, Democratic lawmakers wrote that they are concerned about the chilling effect this case will have on all advocates working on behalf of other frontline communities, victims of human rights violations, and those seeking environmental justice. Pardoning Donziger, they added, would send a powerful message to the world. The billion-dollar corporations cannot act with impunity against lawyers and their clients who defend the public interest. And, of course, they have the letter linked below